Who is Christine Gold?
Oh my goodness. There are so many facets to a soul called Christine. First and foremost, I am a child of God. I grew up in Calgary. I watched the Calgary Flames win the Stanley Cup in 1989 and went downtown on Electric Avenue, even though I was underage. But that's okay. I've always been a rebel, first and foremost, but I love animals. I love nature. I love helping people. I am a former perfectionist, no longer a martyr either. And I'm just here to help people heal at a soul level like I healed.
So Christine, you are a medium. Can you please explain to those who don't know about mediumship what that is?
A medium, basically I'm a bridge to the other side. I'm the bridge from here in the physical world to, well, to the realm, to the heavens, to your loved ones. I am picking up energy first and foremost. I'm picking up emotions. I'm picking up all of your senses, your sensory body, your clairs, as they call them. And for me, my biggest, strongest clair is clairvoyance. So I'm seeing things coming in. I see it as a picture, but I feel you. So as an empath as well, not just a medium, but as an empath, if you're happy, I'm happy. So my job is to help you know that your loved ones are always with you. They have never left, and they want you to be happy.
What made you realize that you have these gifts?
Oh my goodness. As a child, I would say I'm a truth seer, meaning adults would tell me something, but their body language and their energy would not match. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I'd have, my grandparents coming to me in my dreams, and I'd tell my mom, grandma's talking and she says, this, and mom's like, no. Animals would just be drawn to me. They come out of the neighborhood, naturally drawn to me. And I always felt like the black sheep. I feel that's very important to point out, that you don't fit in anywhere. Guess what? You're not meant to fit in, because you're beautiful just the way you are. And I had my mentor tell me that my anxiety and depression and my 2 attempts to die by suicide were because my gifts were not tapped into. They were not utilized, which we all have.
You had these gifts as a young child. Do you have a story that you can share that made you trust those gifts?
Absolutely. My grandmother, first and foremost. Knowing what I know about her now, but back then, she would come to me usually when I'm sleeping, just before bed. And there was one night I felt a tickle on the back of my head. That's how spirit comes through as well. And I remember she used to play with my hair. She used to brush my hair a lot. And she's telling me that, everything's okay. Everything that I'm telling you is the truth, and you have to trust me, because I'll always be your Baba. So when I heard Baba, I'm like, oh, that's my grandma. And ever since then, I trust. And, finding out more about my family, especially my grandmother, it was kept hush hush, because back then you didn't talk about stuff like that, because you get labeled crazy, witch, you'd be banished in, the neighborhood and among your peers. But she used to make a lot of herbal toners and elixirs, and she was always cooking up something.
So what can people expect in a mediumship reading?
Wow, there's so many things that can happen. There will be messages. There will be emotions, clearly. There's a lot of expectations. Some of us want certain people to come through, and I always say it's the loudest, the family member, the loved one that has the biggest message to come through first, and they kind of all line up. And it's like playing a game of charades. So let's, for example, I've done enough, I take notes of symbols and charades. So this means you look like them. So I'm not going, oh, I think he's trying to no, I know what this means. I know what this means. Like, there's all different steps. There's going to be loving messages. They just want you to be happy. I feel there'll be a lot of forgiveness, a lot of healing, and a lot of that shame and guilt that we hold on to will dissipate as well. So that's just a taste of what to expect in a mediumship reading. Whatever the soul needs at that very moment.
And when people are thinking about their loved ones that have passed, they often ask these questions: are my loved ones around me, and how do I know?
They're always around us. Death is not the end. It's absolutely the beginning. The fact that they're here in the physical world, that they were sick and they were suffering, they are no longer. In fact, I tell, most of my clients that they come through at the best versions of themselves. So let's say they thought they were amazing when they were 24 and beautiful. And that's when they're like, yeah, life, I got life by the tail. That's how they come through, right? They don't come through sick. They're healed. They just want us to be healed. And how they come through: signs, symbols, dimes, birds, symbolism, songs, dreams. There's so many ways. It's, are we paying attention? And maybe we might go, oh, that's kind of crazy or woo-woo, but I know that's my mom, for example. But I'm going to ask for more information. Please tell me more. Please help me. Give me more messages. Guess what? They're like, perfect. We're coming through.
So I want to take you back for a second, because when I met you and had my first conversation with you, you shared that you had set your intention to be working with a larger crowd. And here we are. Lucky us. We get to have you May 1st at Cordell Theater. So what can people expect that night from you?
Oh my goodness, so many things. Expect the unexpected. Leave your expectations behind, because we tend to sabotage ourselves, right? Oh, she needs to say this, and this is going to happen, and the ego gets in there and talks you totally out of the experience. So it's going to be a heart-based, heart-led, soul-fed type of experience, something that you cannot put into words, because it's just a feeling that transpires through you. And when you leave, you will leave a different person. And that's the whole idea. I love what I do, because when I'm done with a client in this experience with everyone, you're going to be floating on cloud 9. Because that's how I feel every day that I do this type of work. And I don't even see it as work. It is just something that feeds my soul. It's purpose. That's my purpose. It's not a job, it's a feeling. And that's what I want for everyone.